What is up, guys? It is Saturday night, 9:04. Oh, it's 9:04. We gotta get in bed because our wake up is 4:30 a.m. But it has been a while since we went for a good old chunk of change on a Sunday morning. So we are gonna get some mileage in tomorrow in the Puma MagMax Nitro. This shoe dropped this week. It's the tallest shoe on the market right now. That's actually not true, but it is the tallest max cushion non-plated shoe on the market right now. There's a few plated shoes, Primex Strong, and maybe one other one that's taller than this, but tallest max cushion training shoe on the market. Running Warehouse measured this to be 47 millimeters in the back. It's got this bouncy nitro foam, and it's just begging me to do a disgustingly long run in it, because I ran 18 miles in it on, what was it, Thursday, and I just could not figure out what it's for. I also had Charlie in here a few minutes ago. I had her put it on and walk up and down, do a little jogging back and forth in the office, and she said she really loved the stability of it, but I just can't tell. Is it a Super Blast? Is it a More V5? What is the MagMax gonna be best for? And they tell you on the back here, they have a little bit of a cringy little tag that says bouncy with 2 letters, and it is bouncy, but I just can't tell. Is this a fast shoe? Is it a slow shoe? Is it a recovery shoe? Is it a walking shoe? So that's going to be our quest tomorrow. What is the MagMax Nitro for? It's a good shoe. It's comfortable, but can it rip? Is it going to be good for time on feet? What is the purpose of this beast? We will figure that out in the morning. Let us get into it.
Alright, it is, what time is it? Let's turn the light. Yeah, it's 6:11. 4:30 a.m. Wake up today was just not happening, but that's okay. Sometimes we have to go for being smart over sticking to the same routine every time. So I laid out all my stuff last night. We have the waters, hobby jogger hat for the run. We got our features, socks, the Tracksmith shorts. I'm going to get some breakfast going, and then we can hit the road. I'm going to keep it relatively quick this morning because I woke up late. Well, I decided to not wake up at my usual time because I can tell my body needs rest. But yeah, what we can do for coffee, I think we're going to do, let's see. Yeah, Martha Asila, same as last week. This is complete fire. This is the caramel apple coffee. This is exactly what I need to get it going. All right, I'm going to make some brekkie, see you in a bit. By the way, this has been my soundtrack for the past 3 days straight. Just this new Chance song, Bad Boys 2. Absolute flames. One of the best beats I've heard this year. If you need a little bit extra juice to get you out of the door, a little Monday morning action, if you're watching this on Monday morning, just throw this on. It's highly explicit, but there is a clean version if you don't want to hear adult language. Look at that. Bad Boys 2. No E. That means clean version. The one I'm listening to is not. There's explicit language. It's a little bit jarring sometimes, but you do have the clean option here. Bang. Absolute flame. This is getting us going. Just on repeat. Let's go. It's actually not been that hot recently. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting a little bit light outside. It hasn't been that hot recently, so I'm hoping this later start will be okay. But it still is summertime, so we shall see. But the goal today is just get out there, get some mileage, have fun. That's my word. That's my word of the day. We are trying to have fun. Man, if you want to get better at running, you gotta make these long runs like making coffee. When you get out of bed, I know you're not questioning whether or not that coffee is gonna be made. For most of us, it's the first thing we do in the morning. Check our phone, brush our teeth. Hold on, I'm out here trying to give a soliloquy and I didn't even do the process flow correctly. I got that Chemex filter just dripping straight into the mug. That's not the Supwell certified method. Hold on. Bang. Kobe. Right What I'm trying to say is, it's not a question whether I'm going to do at least 20 every Sunday. I've just drilled it into my system. It's not a question whether we're going to get up and brush our teeth. That's the type of commitment that it takes. And I know not everyone wants or needs to do 20 every weekend, but I do. Because it's fun for me. I'm a sicko. All right, man. Well, the toasting was egregious. And there's some things that you're just not going to get better at no matter how much you do them. And for me, toasting is one of those things. Every Sunday, I come out here, popping my bagels in the toaster, and about 37% of the time, they come out looking like this. And I'm just not really sure what to do anymore because I've put in a lot of work over the past few months to improve my toasting skills. And it's just not there. It's getting a little bit frustrating. All right, we're gone. Bagel with creamy peanut butter, unsweetened, from Aldi, organic. Look at that. No stalagmites or stalactites in that guy. And then, boom. We went to Kleinbein yesterday out in Morrow Mountain, and they had infused honey. It's not really my first choice, but Charlie said I could only get one honey, and she wanted to get an infused honey. She would not let me buy a second honey. So this is what we're going with, the chai spice honey. It's like tea. Yeah, look at that Albemarle. This does look government inspected, so I don't think it's going to be that fire. I mean, they say NC right there. And then bang, little Del Monte. You might have thought this was a Chiquita from the spots. No, it's a Del Monte. Should I do one of those cool things? Ready? Watch. You're not going to see me put together. It's going to be magic today. Watch this. Bang. They said I don't know how to edit, bro. I just did a magic bagel sequence. Right before the 23. Let's go. All right, a little chai spice taste test because I was giving it a lot of shade. Let's see. One little dollop of chai spice honey. Everybody knows the rules. Yeah, I said this last night to Charles. It tastes like tea. It tastes like there's tea in my honey. It's fine. Looks like it's going to be a nice morning out there, huh? All right, I'm going to eat this, and then we can go. We got to be speedy this morning. Speedy. All right, I listened to Chance too many times in a row, so we're coming with the very rare, very exclusive. Can you see that? Look at that. Max Cushion Gang playlist. Very rare and exclusive. Bang. How we do. We taking over, kicking the door. Might have to drop this exclusively on the Supwell app. This is the type of thing that you get on the Supwell app for $1 a month. Max Cushion Gang playlist. I don't know. If there's demand for it, we'll drop it. We'll see. I don't know. Very rare. Hi, we're about to go over the long run. There's one thing I do want to say before we hit the road, and I don't think I'm going to be finishing my full bagel this morning. We've been doing 2 bagels, and I could barely finish one today. But Supwell app, there are some things that I just believe so deeply, and I need to see through. And building this community space is one of them. I want this to be the most helpful, useful, positive community out there for hobby joggers. And the marketplace is just one piece of it. And there's a lot of feedback around the paywall and why do you have to pay $1 to browse? Because right now, the community is included with the marketplace. So I hear the feedback around we want to see the shoes without signing up. I understand not everyone is going to want to be part of the community.
And the people who are complaining about the $1 are also not the type of people who are probably going to participate in the community. But at the same time, as a business owner, I want to be seeing more transactions happen. And for everyone who does pay the $1 to list the shoe, I want to make sure you guys can sell your shoes as well. So it's a little bit of both. The community spaces are 100% going to be paywalled, but I want to make a way to view inventory. So just hold tight. If you've posted shoes already, thank you. There's a lot of good shoes on there. I'm going to start driving more traffic to those shoes through Instagram, through highlighting them here on YouTube. And I'm also going to figure out a way to at least pull through some of that onto the supwell.io website. Maybe so the listings can be seen there, but some way so that people can see all the fire stuff we have in there. So it is important to me. My vision is for this to be not exclusive, but a community space where if you want to pay $1, and I'm very intentional about this, $1 is not a big barrier for a lot of people. We spend $1 on a lot of different things. Most people out there, if you care about something, you can find a way to spend $1. We're just getting this off the ground, and I want this to be a place where you can come ask any question about running, and we'll have a community of people to answer it. A community of supportive people. Everyone's already in there posting their training goals, and I'm going to get some more conversation going. Maybe I'll post a recap of my long run today, sharing some learnings. We're just getting this off the ground, but I believe so deeply that this will be a space that improves, changes, adds more to everyone's running out there, and that's the reason for the $1. That's the reason. It's not, you guys know my philosophy, right? I'm out here hitting these 20-mile long runs every weekend. We got to have some skin in the game, and that's the $1. Hopefully it's some accountability. I'm not making a lot from the $1. The platform takes like 30% of that anyway, but it's a way for us to be accountable and for us to have a little bit of a buy-in to the platform, some skin in the game. So stay tuned on the inventory browsing. Charlie's coming. Probably hear me spitting fire right now. I'm not going to finish this bagel. We just got to hit the road. All right. Thank you to everyone who signed up, man. I love you guys. I'm going to finish my whatever this is. Oh, man. It's 7. The kids are up. This is what happens when you try to get sleep. Let's check my average sleep real quick. Okay, that's good. I got over 7 last night. But my average is 6:52, so right under 7. So that's the thing. I operate best with about 7 hours average sleep the past 7 days, which I'm pretty much exactly at. But without that 7:04 last night, if I had gone 5:30, that would have been pretty rough. I would not have felt great because the night before last, I got 6:11 and stacking 2 6-hour nights or sub 6-hour nights back to back leading in the long run. That's not a recipe for fun. That's a recipe for struggling. And my legs are already tired, but at least my mind is sharp. Real sharp. All right, I think it's time to go. What do you think? I guess we'll finish this after. I don't know. I just gotta make sure I take my gels. A little Banoffee action this morning. Let's see. Ooh, should we try strawberry yogurt? Strawberry yogurt from our friends out in the UK, Torque. All right, one of those. One of these. All right, I think this is good. We're going off script this morning, man. We're just going random. I'm just going to bring a bunch of gels. I'm going to go by feel. And by the way, with the gels, I've been reading this book about Kenyan runners. It's slightly problematic at times, just given the cultural dynamics and how they're portrayed by the author, who was a British lad, but he went on a 24-mile long run. He actually didn't do the whole 24, but the athletes did, and he said they did it fasted. So the thing is, those guys, those elites, they've been running for, and if they're about 30, they've been running for 25 years, because a lot of those guys start running to school in kindergarten. So they have a huge aerobic engine, super efficient at storing glycogen, storing carbs. They do water during the runs. And I'm sure not all the athletes do that, but for me, if I know I'm going to be out there for about 3 hours, like today,
bro, I'm taking the carbs. It's already hard to get out the door. It's already hard to just get going. Why would I make it harder for myself? So I think that's the thing with the long run. And our friend Michael on the Supple app was asking about this yesterday. How do you make the long run a little bit less brutal in the summertime? I think he's actually stationed in Japan. Shout out to Michael from the US Navy. And a lot of the feedback was make it easier, whatever way you can, whether that's waking up at 4 a.m. Not that waking up at 4 a.m. is easy, but it makes the conditions of the run easier. Whether that's taking carbs, whether that's sleeping, because when you're sleep deprived, the perceived effort of the same pace is higher. So, man, I'm all for making things as easy as possible. If I'm going to run 20, 21, 22, 23 miles, that's already challenging. I don't need to make it more challenging. I'm going to bring the gels. I'm going to slam some bagels before. I'm not doing it fasted. And I'm going to listen to some Biggie kicking the door, waving the 4-4. All right, let's get out of here. So I usually like to do a little overview of the shoes before the long run, but I just ran in this and it just dropped. So you probably, likely, most certainly know a little bit about the shoe. If not, go watch the Puma MagMax first run review. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. If you scroll on my profile, I guarantee you will not miss it. So yeah, the draw here is the just ridiculous amount of foam, like a basketball little palm test. Look at that. This thing is chunky. And the forefoot, oh my gosh, yeah, Charlie said my grip strength, or what'd you say, grip strength is a predictor of longevity? My left side grip strength is not good. And running hills, that's not going to help your off dominant hand grip strength. So I'm going to have to start pulling up with the kettlebells or something. But look at this. We are gripping the forefoot of the MagMax Nitro. And what other ShootTube channels are giving you longevity advice, bro? Put some respect. All right, we're gripping the forefoot. This is why. This is the draw of the shoe. It's the combination of race foam, or it's not race foam. I think this is actually Puma's last generation race foam that they made a training foam. It's confusing. The combination of bouncy foam in here with stability, the comfort and support blended with the speed and the fun. That's something that I loved about the Skyward X that we were talking about yesterday. And in here, you are getting a little bit of the same thing. The difference, though, is that there's no plate in here, and at times it could feel like I was fighting against the foam just because there was so much of it versus the Skyward X. You get a little bit more snap from that plate, and that does have a really nice version of race foam on the top layer. This one, I'm just not quite sure that the Puma foams are on the same level as the other brands, especially the ones I've been running in recently. So we will have to see from today's run. This is going to be the real test. Is this a shoe that goes into my rotation that we try to get up to 100 miles, or am I going to feel like I'm running on a cup of pudding for the back half of the run? And my legs are also pretty fadoodled this morning just from the week of high mileage. So this is going to be a really good test. This is exactly what the shoe is supposed to be for, right? Well, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be for, but I think it probably should be good for doing a long run on tired legs when I don't want to pop out with the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris running like I just got a pair of blades from Inline Warehouse. I'm going to pull up with those big hoofs. Shout out to Riding Warehouse. I was putting in the work on the Stallions. And someone said this colorway looked like Buzz Lightyear. I have to agree. Also, I just went for as many shades of blue as possible this morning. We have this blue-purple on the MagMax. We have a highly clashing
shade of blue, green, teal on my socks. And then my Tracksmith shorts are Pantone 292 blue. So it's a bunch of different types of blue. But yeah, lacing this thing up here, the stability is great. And the day after I ran this, I ran the OG Primax Strung, the first version of the Strung from Adidas. And that had one of the narrowest heels that I've ever seen on a shoe. Not just on a Max Stack shoe, not just on a tall shoe, but on any shoe. It had the same width as the Takumi Sen. This was about twice as wide. So the comfort and support should be there over the course of the run. It's just, with how much shoe this is on foot, how's it going to feel to be turning over the legs at the end of the run? But if this thing passes the long run test, then it will be a shoe that I can comfortably recommend as a 4-hour marathon shoe, because that's kind of where I'm leaning. Comfortable everyday miles, lots of support, lots of structure, some fun for bigger runners, potentially a race shoe. If you're just looking for comfort, 4, 5, 6-hour marathon, if you just want something that's going to be comfortable to walk in, an upgrade from something like the Brooks Glycerin. Maybe that's what this could be. But only the miles will tell. Let us go put up a little Michael Jordan on a Sunday. What do you think? Let's go. So these feel a lot more normal today than on the first day. They're comfy, they're cozy, good stability. And that foam is right in that not too soft, not too firm range. I think this is gonna be a good one for just bopping along, cruising, crushing some mileage. Yesterday we were in the Skyward X. This might be a little bit more comfortable than that because there's no plate. I think it's maybe just a touch softer or perceived as more forgiving because of no plate, and the bounce is good here. But yeah, the stack height doesn't feel as wild as on the first day. And first half mile, that was like hard for me to talk. And in the middle of the runs, all the way throwing down 550, and it's easy. So I don't know. It's just one of those weird things.
Oh man, the sun is out. We got a later start than normal. It's about 7:30. But it's also a little bit cooler. So I'm hoping that the extra hour of sleep I got was worth it. And I'm not getting crushed by the end of this run. But mid-late August has been a lot better here in the Carolinas. A little bit, just a little bit cooler in the morning. And my legs are actually feeling decent. We had a good week of running. I'm not smashed. I think we'll be able to get through it. Goal today is just mileage and fun. I haven't gone over 20 in a while. Actually, I think I might have done 21 a few weeks ago, but I haven't gotten to 23 in a while. So 23 miles, probably take around 2 hours, 45 minutes, maybe 3 if I slow down a lot. But I'm not really worried about that today. It's just about flexing that endurance. Every so often, it's nice to get a 3-hour long run. Once every month or two. Alright, that was mile 1. I don't know my pace. I'm not going to be checking my pace. But it was probably somewhere between 6 minutes per mile and 9 minutes per mile, if I had to guess. Somewhere in that range. Yeah, I think I'm shooting for between 5 minutes per mile and 11 minutes per mile this morning. That's my pace target for this run. There's a line in that Chance song I've been listening to recently by Joey Parp, and he says something to the effect of, if you want to boss up, you have to learn how to take you some losses, bro. He actually says bro. And that's pretty much my philosophy of running. I said this the other day. Run hard when we feel good. That's how you boss up. Sometimes you're gonna take an L. Sometimes the house will collapse. Like my friend Old Fashioned Runner says, it's like watching a house burn down when you're having a bad workout, and it's just, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no fire department to call when the legs don't turn over. But for me, if I never hit that point, and I'm not suggesting going all out on every run, but just going for it some days. That's how we learn our limits and get mentally tougher too. If we stay in zone 2 all the time, we're not going to get mentally stronger. There is an element of finding our pain threshold too. But today is not about pain. It's about fun. That's why I'm not checking my watch. We're just cruising. My point is though, I enjoy my running a lot more when I'm not worried about the negative consequences, when I'm not running scared, and I accept that I will get sick, I will get injured, I will have bad workouts. Now, we don't want to be getting sick and hurt and flaming out all the time, but those little things will pop up. And if we trust in the strength we've built up over time, we'll respond. If we need to slow down, we'll slow down. And that's just such a more enjoyable way for me to train. Instead of being worried about, am I going to recover in 48 hours to hit this workout exactly as planned? No, we can modify. If it's not the vibe, we can dial it up or dial it down. I love training by feel. And mile 2.5, I'm hungry. That's not good. It's not good. But I traded sleep for calories this morning. And I'm glad I did. Because I would have been struggling on 5 hours of sleep out here. These are the trade-offs you have to make sometimes. Wasn't able to get all the calories I need, but boosted up on my sleep. So I'll just take a extra precaution with the gel. Once we hit mile 3, pop our morning banoffee. 3 down, 20 to go. Hit him with the Dwayne Wade. You gotta pop back out with the Ray Allen for the last 20. Alright, banoffee time. Thing is, I don't know if I'm trying to get completely jacked up off the banoffee this morning, because this thing will have you tweaking out, bro. That maltodextrin to fructose 2-to-1 ratio, have it going down like a few weeks ago out here. All right, we gotta do it though. We gotta do it. A little banoffee and then shoe update. Oh, look at that. Got the British flag. It's so sweet. It's so delicious. Yeah. If I come out to the UK next year, will someone make me a vegan banoffee pie? I really want to try banoffee now. It's absolute flames. All right, a little shoe update. 20 something minutes in. It's comfortable. It's just bouncing me along. I'm not really thinking about the shoe too much, which is great. On the first run, I was thinking about this shoe a lot. It did not disappear. Now, I was also trying to analyze it, but sometimes when I need to analyze a shoe a lot when it's on my foot, that means it's distracting me. This is not distracting me. By the way, yesterday we went on a hike in Mason, my 5-year-old daughter. She was just charging along in the front, telling us to stop distracting her. Reevesy was pointing out the mushrooms, trying to call up to her. Just stop distracting me. I'm zooming. She was just crushing pace. I also think I'm gonna do a little review of the trail shoe that I used for that hike on the Supwell app. Little Supwell app exclusive, members only content. So we're almost at mile 5 here. These are winning me over. Really stable, smooth roll through, not too aggressive. They're not putting me up on my toes too much. I don't have to modify my stride. And then a slightly firm midsole feel with a great bounce. I don't have to think at all. I'm just running. And the other thing is, I've had a few people tell me already, my guy Carl, he said he's about, I forget exactly off the top of my head, something like 5'6", 130. He said he considers himself a smaller guy, smaller runner, and he said he loves these. I think this might be a crowd pleaser. Crowd pleasing, it's not gonna be as soft as the 1080 and the More V5, but great stability. The upper is a little bit narrow still, but I think with a thin pair of socks, you might be able to get away with it. My left foot is slightly wide, and right now it's a little bit of rubbing, but it's okay. So if it can hold up and give me this amount of enjoyment throughout the next 18 or so miles, shout out Peyton Manning, we'll be good. We'll be solid. Oh man, I can feel that banoffee kicking in. The energy is about to shift. The energy is about to shift. Talking about a Saucony endorphin shift. How about a banoffee endorphin shift? Because my endorphins are kicking in now, shifting into demon time. Yeah, I'm actually feeling nice and fluid this morning. I think I'll just take the hills kind of easy. and we'll be okay. My legs aren't as bad as I thought. Oh, we got a barefoot mafia. Get you wet. Bro, when you see those exposed toes on a Sunday morning from a mafioso, it's over. It's over. Bro, we were joking about, I'm about to trespass real quick, hold on. We're trespassing. We were joking about Thick Boy 7000. That's literally a Thick Boy 7000. That's crazy. Max so fat, you can pop 10 towels on it, huh? They didn't like the video length. They were offended by the mileage. All right, 6 down. We got a Ryan Tannehill left. I'm going up a gigantic hill right now. And so far, this shoe is perfect. I have no complaints. For a smooth long run cruise, this is exactly what I want on my feet right now. Look at that, man, not a cloud in the sky. And it's not too hot yet either. So we nailed it, we got lucky. We got lucky with the sleep in, but we pulled it off. We pulled it off. All right, Michael Vick down. We just got a Matt Castle to go. So I'm not very touchy-feely. I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in the universe shifting things around. I don't really know if I believe in that, but I do believe in the power of belief. And I believe there's strength in having faith in our own vision, in our own goals. And setting out on a course and saying, I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep chopping until we cut that big old redwood down. It's the power of belief, and then you add the consistency on top of it. This is what I was saying in the kitchen right before I burnt the cannolis out of my bagels. You gotta believe, and then you just gotta do. It's not a question whether I'm gonna come out here and get 20 every week, because I've done it for so long. And that's not a flex. That's just the facts, brother. Last year, I decided I was gonna do 16 weeks of 16-mile long run straight. So I just did it. There's nothing special about it. It's just going out and doing it. You gotta believe in yourself, stick to the vision, and execute. And this community is one of those things that I feel I want to pour myself into to make it an awesome place for hobby joggers. So I have to remind myself, not everyone's gonna understand what we're trying to build. I'm gonna do the best to explain it. Not everyone's gonna want to pay for it, and that's okay. I'm not building this for everyone. I would love for everyone to join and be a contributing member, but I want to add value to people looking for inspiration, to people looking for ways to take their running to the next level, for people looking to engage with other highly unqualified individuals to get advice. So that's my message today, man. If you believe in something, you just gotta stick to it. Give it a shot. In the words of Uncle Larry, if you really got a goal, you gotta stick to it. Consistency and execution. Every week we're putting up 20, man. All right, 8 down. Shout out Kobe. We got 15 to go. I can't really think of any athlete number 15. There's gotta be one. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick or something. I'm sure he was number 15 at one point. He was 14 a lot though, I think. I don't know. All right, second gel time. Morton, non-caffeinated. All right, 9 down. The athlete thing is getting too hard. I need to start watching some preseason, reacquainting myself with these numbers. Oh, 9 was Tony Romo, right? Yeah, so we got our Romo down. Fitzpatrick to go. Sam Darnold. I think I missed mile 10 because that was mile 11. Which happens when you mix the Morton with the Banafi. We trippy, mate. Yeah, I'm feeling light, lean, and fluid. It's a weird combination of things. Yeah, light, I didn't even think about that before I started talking. Like a lot of the things I say, I don't think about them, I just say them. But it's funny that light was the word that came to mind, because this is a heavy shoe, but it's not feeling heavy. It's really not. I think if I didn't know about the weight, I wouldn't even think about it at all. This shoe is doing a fantastic job so far. And about 11 miles in, I'm at a probably 7 something pace. So that means we're at around an hour 20-ish. Yeah, hour 24. I just checked. So that means we're cruising. And this is a great shoe. Most people aren't doing 23-mile long runs. I think if you're doing 90-minute long runs, this is gonna be fantastic. And we'll see how it does for the back 90 minutes, because we're gonna go about 3 hours today. I'm feeling great. The legs are feeling good. The shoe is fun. It's comfy. We're having a good time. It's a Banafi party. All right, 12 down. That's a Tom Brady. Tom Brady. 11 to go. We also got 18 miles on the first day in the shoe. So that means we're at 30 miles in the MagMax Nitro. A little 30-mile review. Comfortable, bouncy, stable, responsive, protective. Bang. Rip that out for social. Bro's talking about short videos. I just hit him with a 5-word review. Up your best. So this is the hardest part of the long run right here. 1/2 to 2/3 of the way through. Legs get tired. The little energy boost that you had starting out is starting to fade. This is no man's land. It's the doldrums. It's the dog days of mileage right here. So I'm just gonna ignore all that and run. I'm just gonna ignore all that and run. Some days we fade on this part, some days we get stronger. Today I'm just gonna turn them over, see what happens. I'm also gonna take another gel here. My rule is, if I think I should take another gel, I should take another gel. We're going big boy Morton today, baby. Hey, pulling up in that Jetta, let's go. Sales engineers and future soccer moms. Those are the 2 Jetta buyers. Did I tell you I was gonna take another Morton? All this glucose got a brother tripping. 14, we're cruising. Single digits left. This is where we can get into the mind games. Oh, well, if I started at 6, I would have been done by now. Yeah, the thing is, I would also feel like trash for the rest of the day. So these are the things we gotta balance. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to go beast mode, and know when to go sleep mode. It's that simple. All right, mile 15. I feel like 15 is just a backup quarterback number. Drew Lock or something. 15. We're still good. We're going, we're rolling. About an hour left. 8 more miles. And it's a good day. The sun is out, but it's not too hot. We got the cicadas giving us a nice soundtrack. And I think we have a winner here. A simple winner. And it's weird to say that a 47 millimeter shoe is simple, but it feels simple to run in. That's the vibe, 15 miles in. So unless something drastically changes in the last third of the run, this is gonna be a hit. This is gonna be a good one. I was talking about this last week, but when you're in a rough patch of training, you just gotta be patient. Last week I was feverish, stringing together 6 and 8 mile runs, but I told you I'll be back to 100 next week. And here we are. So if you're in a rough patch, just be patient, wait it out. Don't rush back. Trust in the strength of your body. As a hobby jogger, the low weighting is nothing compared to all the balancing we have to do. School drop off, work, school, whatever it is. Just wait it out and you'll be grinding in no time. One step back for 3 steps forward. And that's the thing, when a little break comes from something small popping up, just embrace it, because that's just a little needed rest that you probably could have used anyway. And you'll be back popping off pace in no time. And you check my Strava this week. It was one of my best weeks of running ever, after one of the worst sicknesses I've had over the past few years. So if you're waiting it out right now, just embrace it. Could be a blessing in disguise. I'm not gonna trespass again, because I already did, but that's a purple car, man. That's a purple car. Charlie's out here trying to tell me that's a black car. That's a purple car. Mile 18, 5 left. I'm gonna grab my other water bottle. I did not put it in the mailbox. Foolishly. I left it up by the front door. So hopefully I don't get caught up in the juvenile shenanigans. I think they're out. They're grocery shopping. Little driveway hill sprint. Let's go. Alright, other bottle. Bada boom. Bada bing. No ants on it. Wow, that was a horrible throw. Talk about Mac Jones. I'm gonna do the last jelly here. Vegan strawberry yogurt. Whoa! It smells like yogurt. It smells like some live cultures. Wow. That's like some warmed animals. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep this one down. Oh, bro. No, that's not certified. Oh my gosh. Man, tricks are for kids. Holy cow. If there's one message you take away from today, you just gotta care. Care about something. Running, school, work, crochet, whatever it is. Life's a lot more enjoyable dedicating ourselves to something, not taking it too seriously, but putting a serious effort forth. Get a lot more out of life this way. That's why I'm out here putting up 23. Little MJ on a Sunday. Mile 21. We're gritting it out. Squeezing the last little bit of glycogen out of these legs. There's Charlie in the mom wagon. Alright, see you guys at home. Let's do it. Man, the torqued all over the inside of the bag. Now I got torque all on my fingers, the bottle, the camera. It's a torque explosion. It's disrespectful. All right, man, there we go. We said what we were going to do, and then we did it. Bang! Whole 23 piece, 7:33 pace, 2 hours, 54 minutes, 32 seconds. That felt super smooth. Nothing special about that run. Just nice, consistent pacing, time on feet. I checked the watch towards the end. I think mile 18, 19, I started checking my splits a little bit just when the mile marker would ding. But other than that, we got a little bit of a weird thing. We got to clean that up. But other than that, I was not focused on the pace or checking the watch at all. I was just focused on keeping the effort consistent. And 7:30 is pretty much exactly what my pace should be for this type of a 3-hour effort for my fitness. So these are the building block runs. These are the runs that allow me to do the ridiculous, who you calling small threshold runs, 24 miles, mashing at a 5:30 pace for some of it. These are the runs that you can stack the speed on top of. This is the foundation of my entire training right here. These long, steady mileage festivals. And I didn't stop once, I don't think. Yeah, sometimes I'll pause the watch to use the bathroom or grab the bottle. Today I just kept it rolling, no bathroom breaks. Didn't pause for water re-up. And it's fine to pause to use the bathroom, but today we were just nice, smooth, consistent. And I didn't let it get in my head that I decided to sleep in. I actually woke up at 3 a.m. and decided to change my watch to 6 a.m. because I knew the 4:30 wasn't going to be it. And it worked out because we had a nice solid run. And the MagMax Nitro here, this is a solid shoe. It's a long run workhorse. It's a little bit deceiving because you'd think with the stack height and everything that they're trying to do here that maybe this is going to be a super blast type of, I don't know, just really exciting, bouncy shoe. They even say it in here, but that's not really it. It's a little bit misleading, the marketing. It's not an Invincible. It's not a Super Blast. It's not a Skyward X. It's more like a Saucony Triumph or an Asics Nova Blast or a Hoka Bondi in the best way possible. I haven't actually tried the Bondi, but what people are looking out of that shoe, looking for comfort, cushion, support for a long time on feet. That's what this is. It's a daily trainer. It's a modern workhorse. That's exactly what this shoe is. So awesome shoe. Nice, simple, steady, solid run. I'm going to shower. Then we can close this one out with a breakdown and some recovery food. Let's do it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are they coming for us? Is that... Oh, are you serious? Are you serious? Don't you tease me like that, man. He literally stopped right there in front of the mail. Bro, it's the ops sending FedEx to come and tease. This is stuff that keeps me up at night, bro. I'm trying to make a brother go mad. Sending FedEx just to troll me. Bro, we've been grinding so hard, putting so many miles in these shoes. All the thumbnails look the same. I can't even use my normal thumbnail because it's going to look like the same thumbnail as the Magma video. That's what you call consistency, man. So we got 23 miles in the Puma MagMax Nitro. Nothing special about this run, just grinding out some 710 to 750 miles. I think my slowest mile was a 755 and my fastest mile was a 715, something like that. We were just getting out there, moving the legs. I checked the heart rate on Strava afterwards. That's a Maserati, bro. This is a... Let me just say, when you have a Maserati pulling up in the driveway and then you have 4 other cars and their engines don't run and they're parked in the same driveway, you might have someone pulling up in a pair of wind flows. That's all I'm saying. Nothing special about this run. 7:15 to 7:55, just right there in that normal aerobic zone. I was saying I checked the heart rate before the Maserati got me going on a tangent, and it was right in that normal zone, 140 to 150. I don't train by zone 2. I don't train by math. I train by feel. And I was actually thinking about doing a little bit of a video on this soon. Let me give you a sneak peek. Take workshop on heart rate versus zone 2 versus heart rate is zone 2. So zone 2 versus math versus training by feel. The whole point of zone 2 training is to encourage you to have your heart rate hit a certain effort level. It's so that you're running at a certain effort level. So running by, what do they say, 70% of your max heart rate is zone 2. If you can do that manually without having to rely on the robots and just run at a 70% effort or whatever the effort level is, then you're accomplishing the same thing. So I have nothing against zone 2. I have nothing against math. But for me, just having that laser focus on the number, freaking out if it rises above 140, having alerts on my watch dinging if my heart rate goes above a certain level, that is so unenjoyable. Making sure the watch is strapped down so that it tracks my heart rate accurately, that is so unenjoyable. And also, I like being in tune with my own body, and it does take some time, and that's why doing zone 2 or math when you're just getting started can be good. And looking at the watch, so you get a sense of what the effort feels. If you've never trained before in a structured way and you're used to running all your runs all out, having a little bit of a sense of what does a 140 heart rate, what does a 150 heart rate feel like could be good. But the other part of it is if you're not maximizing the total amount of volume that you could get without being at your injury, getting fired, and divorce threshold, if you're running, say, 3 times a week and you're feeling strong in all those runs, you don't need to worry about zone 2 or math or training by feel. You can just go out there and, well, you do train by feel, just go out there and mash. Run as fast as you can for all 3 of those runs. The whole purpose of zone 2 and math is that you could train at a higher volume without getting injured, get more of that aerobic stimulus. But you'll get a better stimulus by exerting more pressure on your cardiovascular system, by sending more blood pumping through that heart, by getting it up at an elevated level. That orange theory, right? So if you're running 1, 2, I have a hair. Is that a hair? Yeah. It's Charlie's hair. Putting in work on that marriage, bro. Run more. Don't get injured. Whether you're training by zone 2, math, or feel, the whole point is that we can run for longer, get more aerobic stimulus. So if you're not popping out on a 3-hour long run, if you're doing a 45-minute long run, run as hard as you want. Run as hard as you want. You'll get a bigger benefit running faster. The only reason that running slower is good is that it allows us to run more miles. It is better if we could train at a 90% heart rate for every single run all of our miles at a 5:30 pace, we would get fitter. Those are the rules of happy jogger physics, brother. Puma MagMax Nitro, man. This is a zone 2 math, whatever you want to train by, champion. This is a workhorse. It feels great for just getting out here and crushing some mileage. We are at 41 miles after 2 days. Chase miles, not clout. 41 miles after 2 days, just layering them on. And this shoe has responded really well. It's not gonna bottom out. It's almost like the Nova Blast with a little bit more bounce, where you could just put a ton of miles on and it gets better with time. There were no times during that run where I felt like I was fighting against the foam. There was no times where I felt like it was too heavy. It was giving me just the right amount of bounce. The stability is awesome. The comfort is great. I really like what they've done with this foam. The ride is not blowing me away. Again, like the Nova Blast, it's just a simple, solid shoe. It's not gonna be as fun as the Skyward X. It's not as explosive, but it probably is a little bit more comfortable than the Skyward X just because it doesn't have that plate. And it's not comfortable in the way like the More V5, Balos 1080, the New Balance version of comfort, where you're getting suffocated with that pillowy, soft buttercream frosting. No, this is a fondant. It's a fondant type of comfort. You even know what a fondant is? Gotta get your pastry knowledge out, brother. I'm like baby Keem out here, brother. It's a little bit firmer. It's got that structure. It's not going to bottom out. If you want a supportive daily shoe for crush and mileage, this is great. It would be a great Saucony Triumph 20 or 21 replacement. The main issues with that shoe, though, were the 10mm drop and a little bit of the narrowness in the heel. This does not have that. The drop is a little bit lower. Initially, it felt like 10mm, but now that the foam is broken in, you can see we got some beautiful creasing here. I always say you can see and then you can't see because the sun is just popping off, but we do have some nice creasing in here. It's starting to break in. It's gotten its true character at 40 miles. I predict this is going to be a shoe that can get 400 miles easily. And let's take a look at the rubber here after 40 miles. I mean, this thing is going to be a complete tank. You have really thick rubber coverage on the front and the back. We've not done any wet weather testing yet because it's just been dry. Look at that. It's a Ford F-150. This is like the Ford F-150 of running shoes. And if it were made by another brand, I think we would start seeing these everywhere. If it were made by Hoka, Nike, those are probably the two most popular mainstream brands in America right now. But it's made by Puma, so it's gonna be a little bit more niche. It's not gonna be in Dick's Sporting Goods. It's not gonna be in Fleet Feet likely. It's not gonna be at your local running store. It is on Running Warehouse, and you can use my link to pick it up. It's going to be a little bit of a niche shoe, but if you're looking for a max cushion shoe that's comfortable and supportive, this is a great pick. Now, who should not buy the shoe? If you already have the Nova Blast, if you already have the Super Blast, and you are not addicted to shoes and you don't want to buy a shoe just because you're addicted to shoes, don't get this. There's a lot of overlap with the Nova Blast. There's a lot of overlap with the Super Blast. I prefer this over at least the Super Blast V1. It feels a little bit easier to run in, but it has that same feel as the Nova Blast, maybe a little bit bouncier, but these would be the same type of shoes in the rotation. This is smoother, the foam is a little bit more exciting, but in terms of a lot of bulk, a lot of support, a lot of cushion for time on feet, that's exactly what you're getting in the MagMax Nitro. Who else should not get this? If you like lighter weight shoes, do not get this. If you typically do your long run in something like the Pegasus 39 or a Hoka, even a Hoka Clifton, if you like a simpler shoe, do not get this. It does feel like a lot of shoe on foot. I like it. It worked well. I was at my normal pace today and it was awesome. Out here for 3 hours, but it is a lot of shoe on foot. So if you are not a fan of max cushion shoes, if you like more just simple, simplistic, don't get this shoe. Brooks Hyperion 2, one of the best shoes out there right now. If you want something lightweight, lower to the ground, Adidas Adizero SL2, that's a do-it-all workhorse. But if you do want, all right, also New Balance 860 V14, a little bit lighter than this, easier to turn over. But if you do want a lot of support, comfort, and cushion, bang. One of the best shoes right now for long runs where you just want to get some time on feet, relaxed pace long runs. This is going to be a great shoe. I don't think they make it in wide, so that's the other thing. It is a little bit narrow. I would go for the Nova Blast in wide if you need a wide shoe. So that is all I have for you today on the, I almost called the A6 Nova Blast 4, on the Puma MagMax Nitro. Make sure to sign up for the Subwell app, Running Shoe Marketplace, Hobby Jogger forums. It's all there. I gave a little update on my long run in the training chat. I'm excited to hear what you guys did for your long runs this weekend. I'll also do a little bit of a special review from my trail shoe that I used yesterday. We got exclusive content coming to the Subwell app. So thank you, big thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who's already signed up for the app. My goal is to make this the best, most supportive, most positive community for hobby joggers and anyone who wants to enjoy running out there. That's really the goal. That's the vision. That's the plan. I'm gonna work to start driving more transactions to everyone who's posted shoes. So thank you. We're gonna keep it moving and grooving. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Get your miles in, run some hills, stay healthy. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
One more thing, man. We gotta clean off the shoes. I've told you guys this before. You treat the shoes well, and then they treat you well. Right back. Right back. Look at that. Do not leave your shoes dirty. I'm telling you. Also, if you're gonna sell them on the marketplace, you want to take good care of them, right? So that if you get up to 40 miles and they don't work, they'll be in better shape. Look at that. Bang.
Alright, this is the real one more thing. Well, first of all, Roni out here putting in work in the suspended toy machine. Bang. And look at that. You already know how we're coming for the post-run nutrition. Look at this. Homemade breaded tofu. Well, the tofu is not homemade. They fermented it in the soy factory. But then the breadcrumbs were homemade, and she breaded it. Got a buffalo glaze, little cucumbers that were pre-salted with the pretzilla bun. Look at that. This might be one of the most fire post-run recovery meals we've ever had. Even Charlie said it was the best tofu. All right, one bite. I have to do the one bite test, she said. All right, one bite. Everybody knows the rules. Homemade breaded buffalo tofu sandwich. Man, this is crazy. Did you put the chai honey in that?
I did not.
No, it's fire. It has the little crunchy piece. Bang. Absolutely delicious. All right, last meal of the day. A long run recovery meal. We have the rigatoni with the beautiful homemade vegan meat sauce and little mozzarella. It looks awesome. It's a little bit late. It's 8:30, a little bit later than normal. So I guess that's the benefit of not finishing editing. I can throw this in. Thank you, Charlie. Can't even see her. I'll see you guys tomorrow.